Y'all, it's the summer and I really should not be dealing with student requests, but guess what? Here I am about to finish this project for one of my students. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice. If this is your first time here, please be sure to look at the other content, and if you enjoy that content, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. Also, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join the Craftable Things communities there as well. For my returning subscribers and members, hey y'all, welcome back. So today, as y'all saw, I am finishing up a varsity jacket for one of my students. Now, I started this jacket at the school, and if you guys don't know, I do have another channel where I work in my special education classroom, and we kind of spread crafting throughout the school with all of the kids, and I think it's wonderful. We get a chance to learn so much about the students and their interests and kind of help, you know, spark some creativity. So if you're not a subscriber over there, head over to Craft Abilities. I will have a link listed below in the description. But y'all, I started this out over there, and inside of my craft room at the school, we actually have an embroidery machine. We have a Ricoma 15 needle embroidery machine, and so I took some bling and we blinged out this A on this varsity jacket. But y'all, I can't leave this jacket plain, so today we're going to put a little bit of more bling on here and also maybe stitch something. So I do want to make some patches and put other places on the jacket, but for today, that's what I think we're going to do. We're going to possibly stitch something on the back and also bling it out a little bit more. Now, I got this jacket from off of Amazon. This jacket was only $50. Now, a real varsity or Letterman jacket typically has leather sleeves. This is not a typical jacket, but it looks like it looks really, really good. And I was trying to find the material so that you guys could know. So it's 65% cotton and 35% polyester, but it's actually really, really nice, pretty thick, and I know that she's going to love it. So let's get started. First, we're going to stitch it out because, of course, using the bling, I really don't want any rhinestones on the jacket as it's being stitched because I don't want the needle to hit one of the rhinestones. You just never know what could possibly happen. So I don't want to do that, and also I don't want to have to worry about hooping it and then possibly having to clamp over the rhinestones with the hoop. So that's another thing that I don't. So I want to make sure that we embroider this first. So today we are going to be using my Ricoma EM-1010 embroidery machine to get this done. This is a home-based machine. It's a 10 needle machine, but you can certainly crank out orders, and I use it for my business and I absolutely love it. So today we are going to be using that to begin stitching. So let's hoop this up and head over to our Ricoma EM-1010. Let's get started, y'all. Okay, y'all, so the first thing we need to do is get our jacket hooped up. So I'm just straightening it out. We will be embroidering on the back of the jacket. I'm spraying a little bit of temporary adhesive spray on the inside just so that my cutaway stabilizer that we'll be using will stay in place. And everything looks good. It's lined up exactly where I want it to be. So now I'm just going to turn the jacket on the back, and we are going to get ready to hoop our jacket. Okay, so I'm going to place the hoop on top and just going to press it in. You don't want it too tight, and you definitely don't want your clothing too loose. So I'm just making sure it is just right for us to be able to press it. And I am using a screwdriver to make sure that the hoop is tight and it is not going to loosen up when it's stitching. All right, guys, so now it's time for us to place the hoop onto our machine. And I am just going to slide it on. And of course, you want to hear that lock. I always like to make sure that nothing is underneath the hoop, because sometimes when you place it onto the machine, that can happen. That has happened to me a few times, and I've stitched items together because of that. So I do like to make sure that it's free and clear. All right, that's all nice and clear. All right, so now I'm going to get ready to trace, just to make sure that I'm not hitting any parts of the hoop. All right, that's actually looking pretty good. I'm going to trace it again. So you just want to do this to make sure that you're not hitting the sides of your hoop. And right now, that's looking pretty good to me. Okay, just making sure nothing got caught under there. Pretty traumatized by stitching things together. All right, so now we can actually get ready to get started. I like how everything looks. So let's go ahead and we're going to press start on the machine to get it going. All right, y'all, so the magic is about to start. We are stitching out the top part of the design, and it is going to say chargers. And now I'm going to get ready to head over to the bling. All right, guys, so while that's stitching out, we're going to get ready to brush in our stones. I will be using the Baby's Booty stones, of course, and I'm going to try this combination. I've tried it before, but with this type of design, I'm not really sure how it's going to look, but we're going to be using some gold cyan metal lights. We're also going to be using Aurum Dorado, and then I'm going to use a little bit of light cyan just to kind of bring out the words class of. So let's see how this is going to look. I don't know if this is going to be too much of the Aurum Dorado gold color, but we're going to see. There's specks of red on the inside of the metal lights. So I'm hoping that it gives a nice tint to the front part of the design. The design is 3 parts. So we have here, we have the inside, and then this is going to be the inside of 2024. So let's see how this is going to look. So I'm actually going to do all of this in Aurum Dorado. On the front of the jacket, I used Aurum Dorado for the A, but I used SS10 rhinestones. These are SS6 stones. They're absolutely beautiful, and this color is Aurum Dorado. This design takes a lot of rhinestones. So with the SS6 version, I do have an SS10 version, but the SS6 version, it probably takes close to about 4,500 stones for this entire design. Now, you don't have to put the inside in. You can just have like the shadow around and not necessarily press the inside. So we'll see how that's going to look when we get ready to press the stones, because that might be another option. I have a few students who want to purchase a jacket. So what I'm going to do is probably just load these on my website, and if they want to order them, they can. So now I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of follow the outline of the design. That way I'll be able to feel any overlapping or extra stones, or even any missing stones that are out of place. All right, that looks great. So now it's time for us to place the transfer mask on top, and today I'm using KTM mask from Heat Transfer Warehouse, and this will allow us to pick up the rhinestones. I'm using my fingers and hands to make sure that we can make sure that those rhinestones stick to the KTM mask, and it looks pretty good. So I always like to check the back of the stones just to make sure there's no missing stones, no stones are upside down. I did just have an upside down stone. So once everything is set, just go ahead and put the backing right back on, and we're going to place that to the side so that we can press that when we get ready to press the other parts onto the jacket. And so now we're going to go ahead and see which stones we're going to use. I think I'm going to go ahead and use gold cyan for the inside of the numbers, but as you guys will see, I went back and forth with what I should have did and if I liked it or not liked it, but we'll see how it goes. And this color right here is light cyan. All right, so we're going to get ready to brush these stones in the same way we did those Orem Dorado gold stones. These stones are very, very pretty, and they have just an extra sparkle to them. They are metal or metallic around the edges, and then the center of the stone is a crystal stone. So they come in various colors like that, but it just adds so much light and shine and sparkle to any design. So now we're going to go ahead, brush these stones in. I'm going in a circular motion, of course, to get those in. And these are actually falling into place really nicely. These stones are flat on the top, and sometimes it may be a little difficult to get them in as you want, but these are falling in beautifully. All right, and you'll see I pulled out that wax pin because you always need a wax pin just to make sure that you're able to pick those stones up and move them around if you need to. So now we're going to apply our KTM mask, and I'm kind of putting it up in a taco so that we can get it down. This is a tricky part, but we got it down. I'm just making sure that those stones are on there, and I see that I have an overlapping stone that I did not move. So we're going to go ahead and get that out of the way when we turn it over. And y'all, when I turned it over, I noticed that there are about 3 stones that are missing backings. All right, so I got my tweezers, and I'm just going to remove these. So yeah, it's the back that doesn't have any adhesive on the back, and these either. So before I actually do that, I'm just going to go ahead and replace them because they're really small. Like here, I can't even tell exactly where I got that one from. I'm thinking that it was right there. So I'm going to do it. Alright, so now we're going to be using this light cyan for the center. I was originally thinking of maybe using a white stone in the center to give it a little bit of more contrast, but I really think that this will give it enough contrast. All right, guys, we are all done. And let me... All right, guys, so I already removed the hoop and it looks pretty good to me. I do have a little mishap here, so I'm going to look at the original design, but it could also be when I was changing the bobbin, so I'm not really sure, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. And so, of course, I need to cut away all of the cutaway stabilizer that's here. Now, this material is pretty thick, and you may not need the stabilizer when stitching, or you may need it. I don't know, I'm not sure, but everything looks pretty good. I am going to snip some of these threads. It looks pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and cut. Of course, you always want to be careful that you don't cut your shirt, or in this case, jacket. Alright, y'all, so here's my Tender Touch. I'm not going to apply it just yet, but usually I put the Tender Touch on the back of the design. That's to protect the stitches and also to protect anyone's skin. So I'll do that at a later time. Alright, guys, so the first thing I want to do is I want to, of course, lint roll the jacket as well as press it to get out any moisture that could possibly be in fibers. So that's what we're going to do. And if you saw the other video when I was doing the A at the school, this is what I mean. Like, this heat press is a little easier getting to the different parts of the jacket to avoid having a pressure situation. Right, and I'm going to go ahead and press this for a few seconds. Okay, that's good. Look at that flock dot, y'all. Flock dots everywhere. So now we have our jacket pressed. I am going to adjust the temperature to 350 degrees. All right, guys, so I moved the jacket to the table once we finished pressing it so that we could place the stones on the jacket away from the heat press. The first layer is going to be the shadow layer. And we can actually see how this is going to look without having the inside, because it might look okay without the inside. All right, so this is going right underneath. I actually kind of designed the embroidery portion to match the numbers. So it should fit, and it does. It looks really good right there. And so we're going to head over to the heat press. All right, so now we're at the heat press, and we're going to get ready to press our bling portion, the first layer at least. And the mat is falling off. That's the one thing that I don't really like about this press, is how easily the mat can be moved. I don't like that. But I'm thinking I might actually just turn it around the other way. We're actually going to end up doing it this way. All right. And that way I won't have any pressure issues, and everything is going to be underneath the press. All right, let's get ready to press it. All right, and these are warm peels, and I usually peel it hot. That looks amazing. I'm just going to place the backing back on, and I'm not going to remove it from under the press. I am just going to go ahead and place the other layer on there. All right, the next part we're going to place is the inside of the letters, and as you guys see here, it actually looks pretty good even without the insides. So if I were to put class of in the center, it'll fit perfectly. So if you don't want to do an inside, then you don't have to. So I was kind of worried about the gold around the cyan, because I wanted the inside to be able to be seen, the fill to be able to be seen, and I think I'm okay. I think you can kind of see it, and then it'll have that hint of a red. Just making sure that none of the stones are overlapping. So when you're layering, if you just rub your hand around the design, you can tell whether or not you'll have some stones that are not nestled into its area. I'm just making sure, and if I feel like, you know, I need to make sure it's in more securely, I'll just kind of pull a little bit on the material, and then that kind of makes way for the other parts. All right, let's get ready to press that in. I think I should have used the light cyan on the inside. I think that would have brought out the inside a lot better, but we're going with it. All right, this is done, and that's going to be another cold peel or hot peel, and I can't really see that red as much as I want to see it. So yeah, maybe when we hold it up, we'll be able to see it better. All right, let's go ahead and place the class of on the inside. And I think the O goes right here. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and press. All right. I'm going to lift up the jacket to see if we can see that red tint on the inside once it's lifted up. Because maybe because it's flat. Oh, do you see that red going through the center part? All right, let's see. It's just that sparkle, y'all. Okay, so you can see the red. So the red is only here. Okay, so I see it a lot better now. Definitely depends on the angle. You can see more of that red there. All right, so I was a little bit worried, but I'm not really worried now, because I can definitely see the inside, like the red on the inside of the letters. At certain angles, you get more of it. But I think that's what makes this cool. But if you want something to be more noticeable, definitely switch your colors up. You could possibly just put regular cyan, which is a darker, because I'm using this because of the school colors. But depending on what color scheme you want, you may just want to make sure there's enough contrast from the inside and the shadow. And you don't even have to use the inside if you don't want to. But y'all, this is gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. So y'all, I love mixing embroidery with bling. It looks amazing. I'm not sure about my color choices this time, but overall I like this jacket. All right, y'all. So this is a lot of bling, but I think it looks amazing. Like, away from all of the extra lights, like, I think you could really see the inside. So I think once it's like outside and everything, the red from those metal lights will really show up. But y'all, I absolutely love this. I am gonna make a few more because I do have a few jackets that I need to make for a few other students. So I'm going to play around with those colors on the back a little bit more. Maybe not do Aurum Dorado for the shadow. I was actually thinking of maybe doing like a jet black for the shadow, but y'all, this looks amazing. Our stitch out came out really good, and I think this is going to be a really fun jacket. So I am going to place some stuff on the sleeve, and I'll probably record that too. And then of course we have a little bit of bling on the front. So honestly, I think we have enough bling on this jacket as is. But the way that this jacket is, y'all, it's $50 for the jacket, but everything that we're doing to the jacket, personalizing it and adding bling and embroidery to it, that brings the price up. So if you want to sell one of these, like even with it just like this, I would probably sell this for about $200, $225. So it looks great, and I am going to finish the rest, and I will record when I use the sleeve, or when I embroider the sleeve. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join the Craftable Things communities there as well. In addition, we are also on Threads. But thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time.